lads and lassies, welcome to Ayr Grammar Burn Celebration 2021. Primary 7 have put lots of effort into learning and practising poems, songs and dances for your entertainment today.
This year has been a little different for us all, so our Burn celebration has had to adapt and be a little different too. However, we are sure you will enjoy it just as much. Please join us in a celebration of all things Scottish.
Every good Scot enjoys a wee bit of haggis. Please welcome Emma and Struan, who will address the haggis and begin our entertainment.
Address to Haggis by Robert Burns. Fair fought, your honest sun sae face, great chieftain, o' the pudding race. Aboon them all, ye tak your place, Penge, tripe, or therm. Weel, are ye worthy, o' a grace, as lands my aim.
The groaning trencher there ye fill, your hoodies, like a distant hill. Your pin wad help to mend a mill in time of need, while through your pores they used to still, like amber bead.
Your knife see rusted labour dang cut you up with ready slit. Trenching, your gushing entrails bricht like ony ditch. And then, oh what a glorious sight, one, reeking, rich.
Horn for horny, stretching stride, to attack the headmost on the drive. Till all their wee swelled kite be live, are bent like drums. Then will good man nice light to rive. Bethank it hums.
Is there that o'er his French ragout, or olio that would staw a soul, or fricassee that would mak a spew, with perfect scunner, looks down with sneering scorn for view, on sick a dinner.
Poor Dee will see him o'er his trash, as freckless as a wicked rash. His spindle shank a good whiplash, his knee a net, through bloody flood or field to dash. Oh, how unfit!
That mark the rustic haggis fed, that trembling earth resounds his tread, clap in his way like Neva blade, he'll mak a whistle, and legs and arms and heat will sned, like taps or thristle.
Ye powers of bateman kind your care, and dish them out, O bill of fare. Old Scotland wants nae skinking ware that drops and nuggies. But if you wish, her grateful prayer, gie her a haggis. To a haggis.
It's tradition before we eat the haggis to say the Selkirk grace. And who would we be to break with tradition? Here we have Kellis to say the grace for us.
Some hae meat and canna eat, and some would eat that want it. But we hae meat and we can eat, so let the Lord we thank it.
Now it's time to hear all about the amazing life of the man who we celebrate each year. Ruth and Oliver will now share the immortal memory of Robert Burns with us.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, lads and lassies. Myself and Ruth now have the honour of delivering the immortal memory. It is our job to keep Robert Burns' memory alive by telling you about his life. Robert Burns was born on the 25th of January 1759 to William and Agnes Burns in a cottage that was built by Robert's father. On the night that Robert was born, there was a storm that blew part of the cottage down. He recounts this in Rantin, Rovin, Robin. 'Twas then a blast, O Januar wind, blew Hansel and on Robin.
Robert wrote many poems that are still celebrated and enjoyed today, many about nature and a few about women. He is best known of the poets who have written in the Scots language, though much of his writing is also in English, making his work accessible to an audience beyond Scotland, an audience that still exists today. This example comes from Tam Shanter. But pleasures are like poppies spread, you seize the flower, its bloom is shed, or like the snow falls in the river, a moment light that lives forever.
As a youngster, Robert was taught by his father. He was also, along with his brother Gilbert, sent to a tutor called John Murdoch. Robert is very intelligent and managed to pick up and speak French fluently in only 3 weeks.
In 1766, the family moved to Mount Oliphant Farm, which is not far from Burns Cottage. It is here that Robert wrote his first poem, My Handsome Nell, at only 15 years of age. He got his inspiration for the poem from a farm worker, Nellie Kirkpatrick, and by the sounds of it, we think he had quite a liking for her. Oh, once I loved a bonny lass, aye, and I love her still, and while that virtue warms my breast, I love my handsome Nell.
In 1780, Robert joined the Tarbolton Bachelors' Club, which still exists today and can be visited. At this time, the family stayed at a Lockleigh farm near Tarbolton, but Robert left to become a flax dresser in Irvine. Unfortunately, the shop burned down a short time after, and Robert returned to Lockleigh.
Sadly, Robert's father died in 1784 and the family moved to Mosgiel Farm in Mauchline. At this time, Robert and one of his lassies had a daughter together and they called her Elizabeth Burns. It was also around this time that he met his future wife, Jean Armour. However, Jean's father did not approve of Robert.
For many years, Robert and Gilbert tried to make a good living off the farm, but they were very unsuccessful, and Robert was not making enough money to support his family. So he decided to take up a post as a bookkeeper in Jamaica. Unable to pay for his passage, he took a friend's advice and got his poems published. And on the 31st of July, 1786, John Wilson published Robert's work. It became known as the Kilmarnock edition and sold for 3 shillings, about a month's wages. If you think a month's wages is a lot of money to pay, you're surprised to know that a first edition now costs you more than £40,000.
In just 18 short months, Robert had spent most of the wealth from his published poetry, so in 1789 he began working as an excise officer in Dumfries with his wife Jean and their family.
We all know Robert was a supporter of socialism. This is never better shown than a man's a man for that. Sense and worth, O earth, is coming for you, yet to that man to man, the world o'er, shall brothers be for that.
Robert had a genuine love of people and of nature, and his poetry captures every human emotion. The comedy in his work still appeals to many today. In Ode to a Louse, Robert, after watching a louse burrowing its way into the hair of an attractive young woman sitting in a pew in front of him in church, chastises the creature for having such a nerve. Ha, where you going, you crawling curly, I canna say, but you strut rarely, or gaze in the lace, though of faith I fear you dine but sparely on sick a place.
Of course, Burns being words, he does point out to the loose, it doesn't matter how posh the host is, a scalp is a scalp.
Robert was a hard worker during his life, but this, combined with the toil of his earlier lifestyle, began to take its toll on Robert's health. He dies on the 21st of July, 1796, aged just 37, and was buried with full civil and military honours on the very day son Maxwell was born. A memorial edition of his poems was published to help raise money for his wife and children.
In 2009, STV ran a television series and public vote on who was the greatest Scot. Robert Burns narrowly won, beating William Wallace. I'm sure Robert would be really delighted with this.
At the front of our new school, one of the 3 heads is Robert Burns, showing his importance even then. The immortal memory of Robert Burns helps keep his legacy alive. So lads and lassies, ladies and gentlemen, please join us in a toast to Robert Burns. To Robert Burns.
The short life of Robert Burns was truly incredible, and that was a great tribute to his life. Now we have Holly and Melissa reciting a poem in the Glasgow dialect, The Coming of the Wee Malkies.
The Coming of the Wee Malkies by Stephen Moran. Oh, missus, what'll you do when the wee Malkies come? If they dreep down aff the washhouse dyke, and pit the hems in the stead he'd like, and play wee heedies in the clean claws wall. Oh, missus, what'll you do? What'll you do when the wee Malkies come? When they chap your door and choke your drain, and colour their feet for your sapsy weeds, and tumble their wilkies through your sheets, and tip their ashes out in the street? Oh, missus, what'll you do? What'll you do when the wee Malkies come? If they tip their screw taps down the pan, and stick the heat on the sanitary man? And when you hear them shockling down your lobby, chanting, Wee Malkies! Again he's a bogey. Oh, missus, what'll you do?
Now we have a real treat for you with some dancing. Scotland has a rich history of dance, and Kathleen will now show us exactly how it's done.
Have you ever had a toothache? Well, Ariana and Callie are just going to explain how bad it actually is.
Address to a Toothache by Robert Burns. My curse upon your venom sting that shoots my tortured gums alang, and through my lucky's money a twang we gnaw in vengeance, tearing my nerves with bitter pang like racking engines. When fevers burn or agues freezes, rheumatics gnaw or colic squeezes, our neighbour's sympathy can ease us, we pitying moan, but thee, the hello a diseases, I mocks or groan. Aye down my beard the slivers trickle, I throw the whistle o'er the mickle, while round the fire the geglets cackle to see me loup, while raging mad I wish I heckle in their doubt. And all the numerous human doos, I'll hatest, daft bargain cottage stews, our worthy friends, rock high the mouse, sad sight to see, tricks and ways, fashion fools, the baddest, the green. Where'er the place priests call hell, where all tones, o mystery yell, and plagues numbers tell, and dreadful, raw, though toothache surely bears the bill among them all. Atone's toothache.
James, I hope I never get a toothache like that. It sounds awful. Now, what would be a Burns celebration without Old Lang Syne? Now we have Sammy and Rosie to perform it.
Well done. Next is one of my favourite poems recited by Freya and Abby, and it's all about a wee red car.
The Wee Red Motor by Sandy Thomas Ross. In my wee red motor, I can gang for miles, up and down the garden, through the lobby miles.
Mony a bigger motor, gangs to afar, I can gang what I gang in my wee red car.
Dogs really are a man's best friend, so what better poem to listen to than a Dug. Next we have Joshua, Emma and Abby who are going to show us how it should be done.
A Dug by Bill Keys.
Hey Daddy, would you give us a dog?
A big pronunciation or a wee white pug? A skinny wee terrier? Or a big fat collie?
Oh Daddy, give us a dog. Will you?
What? And whose dog will it be when it dirties the flare, or wets the carpet, or messes the stair? It's me or your mammy, be dane for a mug. I'll wait and play, you're no getting a dog.
But Daddy, they're getting them away, down there at the RSPCA. You'll get one for nothing, so you will. Oh, Daddy, give us a dog, will you?
See them on about ducks again. I think these sins have got ducks in the brain. I know what you'll get, a skate in the log, if I hear ony mair about this blooming dog.
But Daddy, it wouldn't be due to keep.
And I'd make a basket for it to sleep.
And I'd take it for runs, away over the hill.
Oh Daddy, give us a dog.
Will you? I don't think I've met anybody like you. You could wheedle the twist out a flaming corkscrew. Now, get down off my neck, gives none of your hugs. Alright, that's enough. I'll give you a dog.
Oh, Daddy, a dog!
A great Scottish band, Delmetry, wrote our next song, Be My Downfall, which will be sung by Callan.
Well, the bus is pulling out, and I guess I'd better go before I make a grave mistake and let my feelings show. And 20 miles away, she waits alone for me. When I try to picture, you're the one I see. And in another situation I could put up a fight, but you will be my downfall tonight. Be my downfall. be my great regret. Be the one girl that I'll never forget. Be my undoing, be my slow road to ruin tonight.
Now we couldn't have a burn celebration without some toast. First up is Toast to the Lassies by Oscar, Matthew and Matthew. I hope you're not offended, girls. The soul to be taken in good spirits.
Right. This hair stuff needs to stop. I mean, I start choking on the amount of hairspray you use. And the amount of shampoo you use, it's ridiculous.
What's it you call this makeup stuff? I mean, you can't even go to the shops to get your lipstick or your mascara, or even your hair straightened. I mean, you look like a clown from a circus. Plus, us boys hate listening to who's got the best and most expensive makeup stuff.
Oh, so you take so long in the shops. Us boys could have been to 5 different shops and you still wouldn't finish in the one shop. And then you come out empty-handed? Honestly, girls.
And if I haven't heard enough of this TikTok stuff, like seriously, who calls a dance renegade? Plus, have you seen the amount of streaks they send to each other? If that was me, I would chuck my phone out the window.
If you played football, you'd fight over who scored the goal, plus you'd have about it for weeks.
You think us boys smell bad with all our aftershave, but see you girls, you think your perfume smells so nice, but in fact us boys don't want to go near you with that horrific smell.
But really, girls, we give you a hard time. But what would we do without you?
To our mums, our sisters, our aunties, our grands. Well, our life is much better with you in them.
Join us, lads, in a toast to the lassies.
To the lassies.
That was good, I guess. Like it's ever going to beat the girls, ha. But before we get on to the better speech of the two, let's have a little break with Sophie, Abby and Kira performing To a Moose.
To a Moose by Robert Burns. We slowly get Calvin, Tim and Spacey. Oh, what a panic inside the sea. Don't need NASA, oh, what's a hasty. We better than Brattle. I will believe to run and chasey, we Merton and Pattle. I'm truly sorry, man's dominion has broken nature's social union and justifies that ill opinion which makes it startle. At me thy poor, earthborn companion and fellow mortal.
I down our wells, but no me leave. What then, poor beastie, no man live? A demon and a curtain and freak. A small wee quay, I'll gie the blazing me the leaf, and never unmixed. By wee bit busy to and room, it silly was a winter's June, and nothing now to big and noon, old Falkage Green. But the bleak December winds ensuing, beef, snow and kin.
Those sod fields laid bare and waste, and weary winters coming fast, and cosy here beneath the blast thou thought to dwell, till crash the cruel coulter passed out through thy cell. That wee bit he wears uncivil has cost thee money, a weary nibble. Now thou's heard it for thy trouble. But hoofs are held to thaw winter's sleety dribble and cannot cod.
But mercy nor none I lean, improving foresight may be vain.
The best scheme o' mice and men then after blame, and leave us not but grief and pain for promise silly. Still thou art compared with me, the present only touched thee, but oh, a backward cast my ee on prospects dear,
and forward though I canna see,
I guess in fear.
Lads and lassies, it's now time for the reply to the lads from Jessica, Layla and Phoebe. Boys, I hope you take it in the good spirit that it's intended, and don't be too offended.
Aye, alright lads, thanks for that. But we've got some compliments for you too. Ken, see you lads complaining about us lassies flicking our hair all the time, when there's more gel in your heads than there is in the Halo Superdrug.
Aye, I can. Have you seen them at the Halloween discos? They look like a disco ball, full of that hairspray.
Can they not see properly? I'm sure I saw one of you lads in the tune the other day then, your head the size of Loch Ness Monster had so much gel on it. Aye, I walked into Morrison's the other day and I near suffocated through the aftershave of Fanny.
It's as if they walked into the aftershave aisle and rolled a bit in it. And talking about shops, you can't start to imagine the amount of complaining I hear from my wee brother and he's still to go off that Xbox and go to the shops. 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes. Aye, last week at Tesco's, I saw poor wee mammy having to deal with her twat lads having an absolute meltdown over a phone dying.
Seriously, that bored?
They can't go a minute without that thing.
Honestly though, I can't deal with it when the lads have the silliest of fights or those games they play. Whether it's Fitbit or Xbox, they still get so worked up about it.
It's good to be confident that the lads take it too far, walking around like they own the place, stood there with their knee against the wall, nodding their head each time one of their pals walked by.
Seriously, who do they think they are?
And don't even get me started on the stupid things they do to get the attention of us lassies.
As if they like us or something.
I don't know how we put up with it.
But at the end of the day, as annoying as the lads
Annoying? They're annoying, gross. We get it. But she's trying to say something nice for once.
As annoying as they may be, the lads aren't that bad.
Lassies, will you please stand up and raise your glasses in a toast to the lads? To the lads.
I'll leave it up to you, the audience, to decide from those two speeches who the winner actually was. Now, I have a treat for you. P7 have been learning sign language and will now perform My Love is Like a Red, Red Rose in British Sign Language the whole year group.
That's the newly sprung in June. My love is like a melody, so sweetly played in tune. As fair thou art, my bonny lass, so deep in love am I, and I would love thee still, my dear, till all the seas guide I, till all the seas guide I, my dear, and the rocks will bear the sun. Still, my dear, till the sands time it on. Say fare thee well, my bonny lass, and fare thee well a while, and I would come again, my dear, Lord, where 10,000 miles, Lord, where 10,000 miles, my dear, Lord, where 10,000 miles, I come again, my dear, Lord, where 10,000 miles.
That was just lovely, P7. Next for your entertainment, we have Callum and Leighton reciting Scots by Hay, a patriotic song written using both Scots and English language.
Scots will hae by Robert Burns. Scots will hae away Wallace bled. Scots when Bruce is after led. Welcome to your gory bed.
or to victory.
News the day and news the hour. See the front, O battle lure. See approach proud Edward's power, chains and slavery.
War will be a traitor knave. War could fill a coward's grave. War say bases be a slave. Let him turn and flee.
War for Scotland's king and law. Freedom's sword will strongly draw. Freemen stand or freemen fall. Let him follow me.
By oppression's woes and pains, by our sons in servile trains, we will drain our dearest veins, but they shall be free.
Lay the proud usurpers low. Tyrants fall in every fro. Liberties in every brow. Let us do or die.
Ayr Grammar's very own comedy duo, Alfie and Sammy, are up next. They have chosen a humorous song, Donald Where's Your Trousers. Take it away, boys.
I just came down from the Isle of Skye. I'm not very big and I'm awful shy. The lassie say when I go by, Donald, where's your trousers? Let the wind blow high, let the wind blow low. Through the streets of my coat I'll go. Oh, the lassie say hello, Donald, where's your trousers? A lassie took me to the ball and it was slippery in the hall. And I was feared that I would fall because I had no trousers. Let the wind blow high, let the wind blow low. Through the streets of my coat I'll go. Oh, the lassie say hello, Donald, where's your trousers? I went down to London town to spend some time in the underground. The ladies turned their heads around saying, Donald, where are your trousers? Let the wind blow high, let the wind blow low. Through the streets of my coat I'll go. All the lassies say hello, Donald, where's your trousers? To wear the coat is my delight, and not wrong, I know it's right. Highlanders would get a fright if they saw me in trousers. Let the wind blow high, let the wind blow low. Through the streets of my coat I'll go. All the lassies say hello, Donald, where's your trousers?
Matilda is up next, performing a poem sure to make you blush. Charlene, I'm shy.
Charlene, I'm shy, by Janet Paisley. I'm shy. I kind of look nobody in the eye. I've seen me go to a show and just wish nobody would talk to me. Things that happen, like say, you're out for a walk and some bloke that's never been spoke before goes by and he's giving you the eye. You see me, I just want to die. I go red to the roots of my hair. Well, it's no fair, is it? I feel a right twit. You see my ma, she says it'll pass. You'll grow to it, hen. Aye, alright, but when? You can get off a tie being the local beetroot. So last I went out to the disco, I bought this white makeup, white lining it said, and I thought, nee beamers, the night will seem alright. So there I was, axing it, doing my pale and interesting bit, white lightning instead of them flashing lights. It was quite frightening, because my face looked all blue. Now that I think of it, no, it was mortifying, because they all thought I was dying, and dialed 999. They had me sit in this chair until this ambulance fella came in, fused my wrist and gives my neck a twist. And then, you'll no believe this, but right there and then, he gives me a kiss, blows into my mouth, honest, God's truth. Anyway, I blew right back, that made me move quick. Then he says, are you alright? Are you going to be sick? That's when I saw his eyes. They were dark brown, and staring into them made my stomach go round. I felt quite queer. And then he says, come on, let's get you here. But I made him take me right home. Anyway, I'm seeing him again tomorrow. But how do I tell him? Do you suppose that when you kiss a lassie, you dinna hold her nose?
It's now time for another song now, and one of the favourites, Caledonia. For anyone who doesn't know, the word Caledonia is a Latin word for Scotland. I now welcome Jessica, Brooke and Miley to perform it.
I don't know if you can see the changes that have come over me. And these last few days I've been afraid that I might drift away. So I've been telling old stories, singing songs that make me think about where I came from. And that's the reason why I seem so far away today.
ticket is our next poem from Rosie. With their new online payment system and our swanky new school kitchens, this won't ever be an issue for our Ayr Grammar boys and girls.
The Lament to a Lost Dinner Ticket by Margaret Hamilton. See my mammy, see my dinner ticket. I put it in my pocket and she put it in the washing machine. See it on Bounty, up where the fire was. And mammy says, I'm not telling you again, you know I play it. I just want to eat my pocket crisps for my dinner, the big waffle too. The woman says, I've been near collapsed, just a hidden a wee welly sticking out. They said, that happened, now me and my belly in a bed in the hospital. I said, I put it in my pocket and she put it in the washing machine. They said, is this child absolutely non-verbal? I said, my bum's there, the way to sleep.
Scotland's national flower is the thistle. Bradley will now tell us all about this symbol of Scotland. P7 have also worked hard to create artwork based around these beautiful flowers.
To thistle, by Robert Burns, to Scotch and melon, just a flower, you're a symbol, oh great strength and power, acting shades of purple and green, you're the bonniest flower, as land has seen. Some folks say that you're just a weed, but we Scots ken you're a mighty breed. You're delicate yet strong and bold, almost murderous than silver or gold. You're loved by Scottish hearts, and you always were, right for a start. With your purple heads and your spiny stems, you're the richest of all the Scottish gems.
Hope you've enjoyed our hard work in each part of this tribute to Scotland. Ayr Grammar have recently moved to our brand new school and we are loving it so far. With the theme of reflecting on the old and moving forwards, it's fitting that Joshua will now sing Auld Lang Syne to end our Burns celebration. Will you notice where Joshua starts and ends the song?
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot for days of Auld Lang Syne? For Auld Lang Syne, my dear, for Auld Lang Syne. We'll take a cup of kindness yet for Auld Lang Syne.
And there's a hand my trust and fear, and gie's a hand o' thine. And we'll take a right good welly walk for Auld Lang Syne. For Auld Lang Syne, my dear, for Auld Lang Syne. And we'll take a cup o' kindness yet for Auld Lang Syne.